starting with video 18. So in today's presentation we will be exploring the knowledge that is hidden or that is attributed to vehicle lights. Well, it seems that it's a very easy topic, but it is not. It will be little bit lengthy, but I hope we will enjoy it. So I will skip the disclaimer, but I hope everyone likes it. Then coming to the agenda, yeah. So we will be covering about various type of lights in the car and insides, various type of lights in trailer and the associated insights. Then discussion about primary lights and use at locations. We covered little bit in previous videos, but we'll cover in detail here. And at the end, reflectors on the road. Okay, various type of lights in car and the associated insights. Okay, first of all, we'll know that there are the mandatory lights that are required in the car, and these are mandatory. If something is not functional, then one is not allowed to drive the car. Okay, so we need in the car two full beam lights, two functional low beam or dipped lights, two side lights which are also called parking lights, two indicator lights, two rear red lights, two brake lights, and one brake light in the middle of the car also. License plate lighting, one rear fog light, not two. This is very important to understand. One rear fog light, one reverse light, not two. Two is not mandatory. Sometimes the question could be asked that if one reverse light is not working, then are you allowed to drive or not? It is yes. And automatic daytime running lights. So these are the mandatory things that is required in the car for the topic of lighting. Okay, various type of lights in the trailer. In the trailer we need two yellow reflector lights, two marking lights at the front and at the back. And if the trailer length is more than 6 meters, trailer needs to have two side marking lights. So if one is not functional, then you cannot drive with the trailer. It has to be repaired. It's mandatory. Okay, moving forward, discussion about primary lights. Okay, low beam lights and insights. Low beam lights improves the visibility of the driver as well as the vehicle. The question could be asked that, okay, choose the most appropriate answer. Low beam light, what it does? It improves the visibility of driver. The second option improves the visibility of driver and vehicle. None of the other. So this is the most correct answer. It is the correct answer, but it is most appropriate answer. The dip lights needs to be switched on during the evening and night. It is mandatory. During the day it is not mandatory, but it's desirable actually. In the night it is mandatory, and during evening and night it is mandatory, but during the day it is not mandatory. This is very important, but it is desirable. A question could be asked on this. It is allowed to be used within or outside the built-up area. It is allowed to use both. Daytime lights are mandatory in new cars and get automatically switched off when low beam or high beam or fog lights are on. So these are always on, but it gets automatically switched off when one of the light is switched on. Then regarding high beam lights and the insights. The high beam light, first of all, the color of the high beam light or the button or the color of the high beam light is blue. It's a blue indication, blue light on the monitor. It's illegal during the day. It is not mandatory during the night or evening, as it blinds the oncoming driver. Could switch on during the evening or night if no other vehicles are oncoming. It is not mandatory actually. Allowed to be used within or outside the built-up area. It is allowed both. If an oncoming vehicle has high beam light, then I can signal with my lights to turn it off. Means we learnt about the defensive driving or the social driving behavior, and this is one of the behavior that if the headlight of the opposite vehicle is directly blinding me, then I can indicate through my headlights by switching on and off. Then speedometer lighting in car, it is mandatory to work as it improves the view during the night and day. It is mandatory that it should be working, the speedometer lights. Then fog lights and insights. Okay, low beam, regarding the fog lights we already discussed earlier, and low beam and fog lights can be switched on simultaneously, but this is not mandatory. Use of front fog lights when visibility is less than 200 meter, and use of rear fog light when the visibility is less than 50 meter. Can use front fog light during rain, snow or fog, but rear fog light I cannot use during the rain only, not rain. Rear fog light shouldn't be used, or it is not is not permitted to use the rear fog light during the rain, but only fog and snow. Okay, side lights, it is used during day and night. Low beam or side parking lights could be switched on simultaneously. Side and rear lights must be switched on when stopping, parking or standstill at the locations are, these are the locations: at emergency, at the night, on the verge, on the hard shoulder, outside the built up area, on public or car or car park or public lane outside the built up area, on motorway or autoway. Very important to know that these are the locations where side and rear lights must be switched on. It's a must be switched on. Side and rear lights are not required to be switched on when stopping or parking or standing still within the built up area. This was outside the built up area, and this is within the built up area. Only rear red light is required to be switched on. Very important. This is very confusing many a times. Even if you read the whole book, one cannot find this concrete information like in one page, very concise and precise. Okay, then the tips: if a road doesn't have street lamps, then use the red verge poles to know the bend direction. Yeah, this is a very important concept, and it was asked in the practical exam. So on when you are driving on the main road, then on the you will see that two type of poles. On one side there is a white hectometer poles, white verge poles, sorry, and on other side there will be red poles. If the red poles are on your side of the road, on your side, then you then you know the bend direction actually. Means if suppose you are driving here, let me show you. If suppose you are driving here and here, and here you will see the red verge poles. If the red verge poles are in your direction, then you know that in front of you the bend direction is towards the left on your side. If these ones were this side, then the bend direction would have been this side. Okay, with this we came to an end for further reading. After a lot of reading only I was able to produce those slides, but I will request that please go through further references if you need additional information. But I think with this we have covered 99% of all the all the possible questions that could appear in the exam. Thank you and have a good day, and I will request that please read it again, please go through the video again and avoid confusing traps. With that, we will meet each other in the next video. Bye bye.